Hi guys, it's Magnus here with Radio Visca. Just a quick update on my channel. I have not been uploading much in the last few weeks because I've been quite busy. I also want to kind of redirect the direction of the channel a little bit. I've had some ideas about some new direction I want to go with the channel. I want to focus less on current affairs, less on worldly news items, which I am considering ever increasingly a distraction, and I want to focus more on what we can do as individuals to improve our lives, how we can cope with the ever-changing structure of society, and the what I would call the requirements, the parameters modern life places on most of us in the West. So the focus will be a little bit more sort of not self-help, but a little bit more thinking about where we're at here in the 21st century, 2017, 2018, not too long. What our life really is like, what most people actually go through, and obviously, I'm not going to be talking about the life of celebrities or politicians. I'm mainly concerned with the average worker, and obviously, as you guys know, the average Western white male worker, and what they face in the 21st century. We face in the 21st century. There's just a train going by here, so I'll just let that pass. I'm recording this just out and about again. Just need to get out. It's I've addressed this in previous podcasts where I've just spoken about the extreme sedentary nature of modern life, and it's really something that just gets to me. And there's really not that much opportunity to get out of buildings, to be out in nature, to walk around and just be free in the world, because we have so many obligations, really, right? I mean, whether it's the obligation to get to work, which usually involves either a train or a car, or the obligation to sit around at work, or whether it's then in the evening, cooking at home, spending time with wife, family, kids, whatever. I mean, most of those activities really happen inside a house, and that's absolutely not our natural habitat. I mean, that's not what we used to do for most of our human existence. So we really spend, in my opinion, too much time sitting and too much time indoors in general. Now, obviously in winter that makes sense, but it's June now, so there's really no reason for us to spend so much time indoors from a natural perspective, and yet we do spend almost all of our time indoors, unless you are a construction worker or a newspaper salesman or something on the road. I mean, even bus drivers and cab drivers basically are in an enclosed environment. They're really indoors as well. Truck drivers, etc. So, even farmers, farmers, they're increasingly in enclosed cabs of these giant farming machines, and then after that, some of them, they're in some drone control center now. I mean, even farmers are turning into sort of computer control wizards, So, I mean, some people call this domestication. I don't think that really fully covers the issue. I mean, domestication has happened far earlier already. Being a serf under the tutelage of a lord, of a feudal lord, is really sort of a form of domestication already. What we're seeing now is more the machine technology taking over, and humans having to adapt to the needs of the machine rather than the other way around. So we have a system, we have an economic and civilizational and social system, really. It's like an operating system, and there's all these roles that. Sorry, there's trains are part of the system. I'll just let that go by. I should probably seek a different route the next time I record this. Alright, so I think that's probably not that loud anymore. So this system really, has all these roles, has all these requirements that we have to fill for it to even function, right? I mean, you can't have a modern civilization without firemen, for example, right? I mean, if there's absolutely no one there to ever put out fires, well, sooner or later there's a catastrophe on your hands. Now, individuals can try to deal with it, like in a non-domesticated way, but the problem is that our infrastructure is far too sophisticated for individuals to deal with. I mean, if you've got a fire in a skyscraper the way we just had in London the other week, individuals are not going to be able to do anything, right? You need specialized equipment. The same goes for trains and transport. I mean, if the transport system shuts down, oh my God, the entire everything shuts down, right? So those people have to adapt to the system. They have to be on time at their jobs, like a cog in the machine, really. There is no other way there is no two ways about it. Like, it's an absolute necessity for the entire, our entire countries, our entire cities to run. I mean, when you really think about it, how the only reason civilization keeps going is because humans are so regimented. It's a testament to how easily we are regimented into obeying the schedule, really, right? That civilization works at all. And I think humans are ever more sort of aware of how things can go very badly wrong if someone isn't at the right place at the right time. I think that habits like tardiness, being late, not properly answering emails, sort of not being aware what's going on in a shop or in a job, I think those habits are actually decreasing significantly. I think that the average human is such a well-trained cog in the machine these days. If you compare it to 50 years or 70 years ago, where you had significant people just not showing up for work and strikes and people refusing to do certain things. I mean, even during my youth, I remember things being different. I remember, just people being less reliable. I don't know if this is just some kind of, if I'm just imagining this, if this is nostalgia or what's going on, but it'd be interesting to see what you guys think. Like, do you believe that the average citizen today is aware of how complex everything is and how many responsibilities are on their shoulders, and therefore adheres to schedules and work schedules and timetables and certain sort of internet related sort of behavioral requirements, like answering emails, checking emails, being available on the phone, etc. Do you believe that people do that today more than they did 20 or 30 years ago? Do you think people 20 or 30 years ago had a little bit more freedom to slack off, to not show up at work, to pull a sickie? I think so. I mean, especially if you think about how sick days are handled these days. I think the overwhelming majority of people these days in the West don't actually have sick days, paid sick days anymore, paid sick leave. In certain nicely high-paid jobs that still exists. If you work at Apple or if you work at Google or at certain companies, but there's this massive layer of lesser paid people, and in some cases also high-paid people who are freelance, or just happen to be on some kind of non-contract employment basis, and that I think now makes up more than 50% of all employment. So really, most people don't have sick days anymore, so they can't really afford to have sick days, because that just means they don't get paid. So there's also, I think it's pretty obvious why that's happened. That's just a capitalist profit improvement strategy, and you really only need to offer sick days in those industries where people are irreplaceable, as in the lead engineers at Apple, etc., or hard to replace at least. So as you can see, it's not like I'm going full Marxist here or full socialist or anything, but I think some deeper analysis about our everyday experience is at hand, and that's kind of what I want to focus on a little bit more on this channel. Still talk about all the issues we face, on a social level, but less from the perspective of everyday events. I mean, we just had some supposedly English guy drove into some crowd of mosque gatherers in Finsbury Park. I mean, these events are really blown out of proportion in the media, and they have an effect, but it interests me less from a sort of news point of view and more just as part of a larger social shift in society, and that's how I want to start approaching things a little bit more. So that's my update for today, and hope you like that direction, and leave some comments below if you have some thoughts on that, and subscribe, like, and let me know what you want to talk about and what you want me to talk about and what you would like to hear about. Thanks a lot for listening, guys. Bye bye.